Good morning, community. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening Canning Recipes. A little bit of everything. Got a little nice south wind blowing today, but we're going to get back up to 100 degrees. They say our weather pattern's not going to change at least until the second week of August. I'm really praying that that changes and that maybe something comes up through the Gulf and brings us some rain. We don't want any damage. We don't want anybody else to have any damage, but we desperately need rain, guys, and we need some cooler temps. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. Trying to get these fall seeds started in this heat is like trying to start your seeds in a convection oven. So we are having some luck with some of our cauliflowers. You can see I'm getting some pretty good germination. And then the kale and the chard seems to be doing just fine, guys. I've started some celery over here. Now, celery takes a very long time to start coming up. So we're still going to wait and hope that we start seeing some come up in here. And then here's some more cauliflower, and then here's some broccoli. Another couple of things that are doing well are the collard greens. And then I have some more Calabrese broccoli here. My spinach. I'm going to have to start transplanting these into bigger pots today. And then my kale and my chard, like I said, is coming up really well. And of course my squash is over there, but I've transplanted most of them. And then we have some cabbages. So this second round of green beans in this raised bed is doing well. Looks like some of them need some feeding, so Greg's gonna have to get out here and do some feeding. And surprisingly, guys, parsley intermingled is doing quite well. Our herbs are continuing on. And I'm gonna do a couple more runs in the freeze dryer. And then we're gonna let these go to seed. I have a couple of white eggplant, guys, coming in on this plant that I had cut down to the bottom, and then it just came back. So, you know, I'm kind of excited about that. And our cracks out here just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And you can see that, move Miss Bear, that they're getting quite hefty and quite thick and quite deep. Greg is working on getting the tomatoes pruned back, and we are going to attempt to prune some of these down heavily and see if we can't get some of them to come back. We know some of them won't, but like these with some green, we're hoping will come back for the fall. And then he has tried to start some more of the clippings. So we have to make some decisions because we're running out of time for our fall planting, but it's so difficult in this heat to try to get things started. So I have to make a decision. Do I go ahead and start some carrots in here and some onions in that little high tunnel in that raised bed on the north wall to try to see if I can't get some going? I don't want to start anything on that back acre just yet, guys, because it's extraordinarily hot, and those cracks I just showed you are much worse back there. And it would just be too much to try to keep those things going. So I have to start my stuff where I can keep it controlled a little bit, and be able to water it several times a day and watch it and make sure that they are getting what they need as much as we can do to germinate and start setting, so that we'll have a fall crop of at least some carrots and some onions. And then Greg will probably be sowing some beets, but it'll be a little bit while longer for beets. So I gotta tell you guys, I gotta be honest with you, sometimes I feel pretty defeated in our efforts, but we can't stop. We just gotta keep on going, and we gotta keep on trying and keep starting seeds. Hopefully that we can get some things started. I probably have maybe a couple of hundred plants so far that have germinated that I'm going to try to get established. Greg did go ahead and move some of the tomato starts inside under some grow lights. That's hard for us. That's hard for me because then you have to harden them off. But, you know, we're willing to try anything right now because the heat and we have very unhealthy air. That Saharan dust is coming over us again this week, and it is just almost impossible. So don't feel bad, community. It's almost impossible to get anything to germinate and anything to start right now in these Texas summers. So this is where I'm contemplating doing some onion starts. I can go ahead and scatter the seeds, guys, and keep it watered several times a day to see if I can't go ahead and get some onion sets so that I can transplant them when it gets a little bit cooler and possibly a little bit wetter. See that cracked ground over there? Guys, and that's where areas where we're trying to keep it watered down. My goodness. This is one of our cantaloupes that was buried a little bit, but guess what got them, guys? Those roly-polies, those doodle bugs just went to town. So I'm giving these to the chickens. So we have this raised bed cleaned out. We still got some good chard. Surprisingly, the chard does well for us almost year round here. And I think I'm gonna put some spinach up here, I'm not sure. So you can see where we've cut. This was my mustard greens. We've cut it down. And this soil looks really, really good. I got some kale coming up in there. So this is probably where I'm gonna put some of my greens. And then my zucchini and squash transplants seem to be doing pretty well up here in this raised bed. Yeah, I'm hoping that we get another harvest of squash, and honestly, we really should, providing that no insects come on board or any catastrophic weather. I think that we'll be all right. But anyway, that's how these things are looking up here. We have some apples coming in. We'll be eager to see if we're able to keep these going. Now, we've struggled with the fire blight in the past, but Greg's been keeping them under control, hopefully. So we might have some apples, guys, in the fall. And this little old tree is loaded with some pears. And the only reason why I'm not picking them off, guys, is because we have not gotten any pears in the last couple of years. I know I should have thinned them out, but I really would like to try to get some pears this year. The thing that would inhibit this is if we start to get very high winds when it comes time to start to harvest them, but they're looking pretty good. Man, this thing is loaded down. And the elderberries are looking quite terrible. Yeah, the heat, they are just not doing well with the heat, even though they're getting ample water. They're not doing well at all. Very, very concerning, but you know, we try every year, guys, to try to get some, and they just don't seem to like full sun and heat, and there's nothing we can do about that other than hoping that as the years go by and they get bigger, that they learn to adapt to our environment. I'm not sure that they will, but we will see. Chickens are doing good. They're getting a half of a watermelon in the afternoon, guys, and they are loving it. But look at those cracks in front of that coop. And look at the cracks back here. It's just incredibly dry here in Texas. You can see that's a pretty big one. So for those of you who are discouraged, we get it. We are too. Feel a little defeated, but not defeated enough to quit. And we're not going to quit. We're going to keep on going, and we're going to keep on planting. And you know, the weather forecasts keep going back and forth. At first they were saying we were going to have a mild August. Now they're saying we're not going to get any relief till mid-August. And then they said El Nino was going to bring us a cooler fall. Now they're saying no, it's going to be a warmer and drier than usual fall. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I don't think they know either. I know that the ocean temperatures are warmer than they've ever been right now, at least in a very long time. But I think that there was a record set in Florida that the ocean temperature got to 101 or something, which is very significant, especially for the hurricane season. So who knows what we're going to get starting in a couple of weeks, but we need rain and we need cooler temps, and we need some prayers. We need lots of prayers to try to help us get our seeds going so that we have something to plant whenever we can plant on that back acre back there. Because boy, this heat is oppressive. It's just oppressive. And even though we got a nice breeze right now, it's 7:52 in the morning. In the afternoon when this breeze blows, it feels like a convection oven, and I am not kidding. And so by 10:30 or 11 in the morning, all work stops, ceases outside because it's just too hot, it's too dangerous. And there's really not much we can do other than just try to keep our seeds damp, moist, and watered. So my friends and my family, we're with you. We understand. We know how hard it is. We get it. But we need to pray for each other, and we need to pray for our weather patterns to change and to give us some cooler temps and some rain. And then there's lots of people that have gotten way too much rain. And so we need to pray for those folks too. I just wish there was some way to do a pipeline across the United States so that they could pipe water down to places that needed it. Our lakes are draining again. We're going back into a drought stage. It's not good. It's not good. But, you know, I'm thankful that we're going into an El Nino year, because that does tend to give us wetter weather. But they're really kind of not saying very much about that right now. They keep changing their minds. But, yeah. So you guys keep going. Keep going. We can do it. We can keep fighting. We can keep planting. And we can keep seeing what we're going to get. So thank you guys for watching. Take care. God bless. Stay hydrated. Stay cool in the afternoons. I mean, that's just about all we can do other than watering our seeds. So love you guys. Take care. And I guess I'm going to bite the bullet on planting some carrots and some onions, because we're running out of time, guys, and we've got to try to get more things started. See you soon.